My name is Jason Reynolds, the author of Long Way Down. Long Way Down is a novel that is told in verse about a young man who's 15 years old named Will, who unfortunately loses his brother to gun violence. Will then has to make a really tough decision. He has to figure out if he's going to follow the rules of his community, which would then lead him to avenging his brother's death, or if he will let it go. And his decision-making process and the entirety of this book takes place in 67 seconds of his life while he's on the elevator going from his apartment to the ground floor. Check it out if you get a chance. So here I am in Waterstones, and I'm super excited to show you all three books that I really love and that really inspired me and influenced me with the making of Long Way Down and with all my writing in general. And the first book is Sharon Creatures' Love That Dog. I personally think this is probably one of the most underrated children's books of all time. It's the first book that I ever read that was written in verse, which is really, really amazing. And it's about a young man who is struggling with poetry and is trying to figure out what it all means and where his place in it is, as well as trying to understand how to tell his own story. A beautiful, beautiful tale about a reluctant reader, written for reluctant readers, which makes it genius and meta. So check it out if you're ever in the bookstore for sure. My second book is Jesmyn Ward's Salvage the Bones. Anyone who knows anything about me knows that I believe that this might be the best book written in the 21st century. I've said it multiple times, and I'm saying it once more. This novel is about a 15-year-old young lady named Esh. It takes place in DeLille, Mississippi, the Black American South. And it's a few days before Hurricane Katrina hits. And this is a story about the storm before the storm, a young lady really trying to keep her family together, the love of a pit bull, the love of a boy, and a surprise pregnancy. And the reason that it means so much to me is that Jesmyn Ward has an incredible knack for writing family and for writing texture and for using beautiful poetic language in a way that does not feel highfalutin or over the head. And that is what I hope to do with Long Way Down. My final book for today is by Scottish writer Ali Smith. It's called Autumn. And the reason that this book means so much to me is because it was the first time that I read a novel that sort of jumped around in time in an interesting way, in a challenging way, moving back and forth across the span of two lifetimes. And it also was about a relationship between a young lady and an older man that was not in any way toxic or poisonous, but was a platonic, loving friendship between neighbors. And I think about that all the time, especially when I was writing Long Way Down. How do you use time to fortify the idea of relationships in a story without having to be heavy-handed? And Ali Smith masterfully proves that it is possible in this wonderful, wonderful novel.